So you want to play the bard. The bard stands out to you, and you want to know how to dominate as a bard. Well, I'm going to tell you. It's really fun, and it is really annoying, as you can see by the description. He has good crowd control. He's a good swordsman, and he's loud. Yeah, that explains the bard pretty perfectly. So you're going to name him something really creative. Okay, so you've made your bard. This is what it looks like when you first make a bard. You're on lore mastery with dissonance and music memory. Dissonance, all it does is stops spells from casting. Enemy players and also enemy monsters will stop casting, and they'll be silenced for 3 seconds. So in theory, it's pretty good, but there's also something called the Song of Silence, which you just play a song and it does it better. So dissonance, I'd rather just have music memory 2. So my skills I always run are music memory 2 and music memory 1. And on this wheel over here, I go ahead and I do this exact setup right here. Boom. Every drum spell right here conveniently on skill 1. Anyway, you're gonna wanna just have music memory 2 and music memory right there. I mean, I think that's probably the best setup. I'll talk about Encore, even though I think it's kind of worthless because all you have to do is just play the music. But this allows you to just hit the button and it plays it for you. Kind of useless in my eyes. As for your one perk that you're allowed at level 1, I'm personally going to take Wanderer's Luck because it does help out a lot. It's basically like a free luck potion from the fortune teller. As you can see, what it does is it takes your luck from 0 and it puts it to 100. So it's definitely worth it. If you don't want to run Wanderer's Luck, you can always run Rapier Mastery or Dancing Feet as your first perk. Those are both really good starting things to run. Also, War Song. War Song is a must-have as well. So these 3, Dancing Feet, Rapier Mastery, and War Song, you need to have one of these right here instead of Wanderer's Luck for sure. Reinforced Instruments is funny, but Storyteller is really good. I love to have Storyteller whenever I'm in a party because the +3 will and knowledge buff to all your party members at all times is just so much nicer than you realize, especially if you have someone like a cleric who needs the knowledge buff or a wizard. It just helps out so much. Melodic Protection is also pretty decent because you'll find yourself in a lot of positions where you want to keep playing your song to the end, but if you do that, you're going to take a little bit of damage. So this just mitigates that damage a little bit more. Charismatic Performance, hey, post-Python here. Just realized I forgot to talk about Charismatic Performance, which is actually one of the best perks you can run. It basically just upgrades your good performance, the thing that says playing music anyway. It upgrades that into a perfect song. So in order to get that crazy Bard Penta buff that I talk about a little bit later, you actually need this perk on, and I forgot to mention that. So Charismatic Performance, make sure you're running that if you want to miss a note for the faster music time casting speed thing, and you still want to have the full buff active. Just thought I'd mention that really quick.
Okay guys, back to the video.
Jolly Time, I've never used it, but now that I'm looking at it, that might be pretty fun. Especially if you're like solo in the Goblin Caves, you could run over to the tavern dude and buy like 50 gold worth of ale and just chug them. So that's an option. Lore Mastery, that's the perk you start with, and it increases your interaction speed of all types by 25%. That includes opening chests, opening doors, even playing a tune. I'm pretty sure when you play a tune, that counts as interaction speed. So the faster you have interaction speed, the faster you can play your music, which that's what the Bard's all about. You're gonna wanna try and make sure you're playing your music as fast and as frequently as possible. So yeah, that's pretty much all the perks. Oh wait, hold up, I forgot about this one. Superior Dexterity, 50% faster switching time between weapons and utility items. Sounds really good. In practice, it's kind of mid, I'll be honest. I feel like it's kind of mid. The setup that I would run at level 15, if you're still looking for gear anyway, would be Wanderer's Luck, and then Dancing Feet, War Song, Storyteller if you're in a party, and Rapier Mastery if you're all alone doing naked runs. I would say those are probably the best ones. And if you don't want to use a Rapier, then I would probably go for Lore Mastery. Lore Mastery is just really good. So in conclusion, Wanderer's Luck, Dancing Feet, Lore Mastery, Storyteller, War Song, Superior Dexterity, Rapier Mastery. Those are the big ones. worth running. Hey, and charismatic performance, idiot. You can kind of mix and match those to your needs. But let's talk about music. So on your first wheel, to the left, I usually just do all the drum spells right here, because each one has benefit in some way. The only one that I could see getting rid of would be Beats of Alacrity, but I'll talk more about that and what you should be running for your music a little bit later. Over on your second wheel, you can kind of mix and match whatever you want. My setup is Unchained Harmony, Shriek of Weakness, and then Area of Alacrity, and then the other three I like to kind of swap around depending on what we need. I always like to run Harmonic Shield, though. Harmonic Shield is 40 armor rating and 40 magic resist to yourself and all nearby allies for 2 minutes. Absolutely insane buff. You should definitely be running this. Tranquility basically just heals your campfire health to full, which is really useful if you're playing alone, but if you're in a party and you have someone like a cleric, you probably don't need to run Tranquility. If you're alone, I would recommend running Tranquility though, so that's a decent spell to have. And then for the last one, this is the one that I usually like to swap around. I usually, if I'm playing alone, I'll swap out Tranquility for Song of Shadow and just run some heals, because, I mean, you can just sit down. Honestly, Tranquility, yeah, just sit down. Just sit down. Ballad of Courage is also a really, really good little tune. Grants 10 physical power bonus to yourself for 120 seconds. So you get 2 minutes of plus 10 physical power bonus, which is just absolutely amazing. But a lot of the music is preference. This seems to be the setup that most people like to run. This is my go-to setup that I like to run, and I'll just swap out Tranquility for something like Ballad of Courage, or I'll swap it out for Area of Alacrity, or maybe I'll even swap it out for Song of Silence if I really feel like I want to ruin a spellcaster's day. I've never used Peacemaking before, but that's an option. Shriek of Weakness is the only debuff you really need as a bard. You don't need the movement speed debuff, and Banshee's Howl is also a really good debuff, but you don't need both. I would say Shriek of Weakness pretty much covers everything that you're going to need. It just lowers their physical power bonus by 5, and their armor rating by 30 for 18 seconds, which is so strong. I don't know how this didn't get nerfed, considering every bard runs this spell. All right, with all the music done and all the skills and perks talked about, let's move on to gear really quickly. So, what should you be running on Bard? What should your gear look like? So, you start off with the default rapier, which is, yeah, no, this thing sucks. What you're looking for in your 1 and 2 slots is the Bard can actually use a crossbow. So, you can run a crossbow, and you can also run a survival bow, but crossbows are just better. I'd say the best thing to run in your first slot would just be any sword that you can get your hand on that's like blue or purple, because the Bard can really make use of any weapon that he can use in his kit. Personally, I think the Falcon's probably the best sword that you can put on him, so I would be looking for a really good Falcon to run on Bard. And also a crossbow. Don't forget, crossbows are insane. Now, you have a lot of options when it comes to the rest of your gear. I would say the stats that you're looking to prioritize on Bard would definitely be the movement speed, the action speed, spell casting, equip speed, and all these interaction speeds here. The buff duration and the debuff duration, you want to make sure these are all up as well. All of these stats right here are going to be the ones that you want to prioritize when looking at gear stats. Physical damage reduction is also very important, I would say, because the Bard is really squishy. You're basically a mage that has to act like a rogue or a ranger. So you're somewhere in the middle between a support and a DPS. You're not really either. So your armor rating is going to come into play for sure. People are going to target you. You're going to be a big target. You're going to be like the cleric. Every team that sees a Bard is just go for the Bard first. So make sure you don't have terrible armor rating, I would say. Regal Gambeson's probably the best thing to run on Bard, as well as every light armor class because of the armor rating. But if you wanted to rock something with a little bit lower armor rating, you can. You just have to be mindful of your positioning and make sure you don't get one shot by a Bard, because that happens all the time playing as Bard. And then also your physical power bonus. This is something to think about. If you have a high physical power bonus and then you pop your Ballad of Courage, that's gonna really help you out a lot. You're gonna notice that you're one-shotting naked people. That sounded weird, from the Ballad of Courage. So yeah, as for these base stats here, You can kind of mix and match whatever you want. I'll briefly go over what each stat does. Strength is your HP physical power. Agility is how fast your character moves and attacks. Will is probably the most important thing for Bard though, because it increases your spell power, improves your buff and curse duration, and improves your base magic resist. So make sure you have your will pretty high. Knowledge is nice to have. It does increase your spell casting speed, so it does increase how fast you're able to play. The reason that you might see stacked Bard players just shredding on their little lyre is because of their knowledge. If you have higher knowledge, you are able to cast your spells faster. I think music's a spell. Music's definitely a spell. And then resourcefulness isn't really relevant. Since we're blessed with Allegro, we really don't need to have high resourcefulness, but this does increase how fast you open doors and chests and stuff. So if you care about that kind of thing, resourcefulness is also really good to have on a Bard. I would prioritize will and knowledge over anything else, and also agility as well. Strength and resourcefulness are kind of the things that you don't really need to have as high, but you can if you want to. Okay, that pretty much does it for Bard. I'm going to end it with some gameplay. I'm going to show you the Bard in action. We're going to go into the Goblin Caves with absolutely nothing. Fresh, level 1 Bard. Let's do it. Alright, we're in. Now, I am going to focus on just trying to get out. I'm not going to like really try and go for any big plays. I'm going to kind of adopt the role of a player who's never really like played before. So I'm just going to kind of walk around, loot stuff, and hopefully get out. Contrary to popular belief, you actually can break these barrels with the loot, despite what my loot might say. It's actually a really bad spawn, but we got a throwing knife. Bards can also use throwing knives. That's something I probably should have mentioned. Bards can use throwing knives. Anyway, what you want to do first is... Oh yeah, my spells! I totally forgot! I'm running different spells. So yeah, just go around and just buff yourself up. Get yourself totally buffed up. I'm not doing it to the fullest extent, but I'm gonna go ahead and drag this guy over here, and then I'm gonna hit him with one of these. Okay, so to do this fast, you wanna go... That's how you do it normally, right? But if you want to cast it extremely fast, here's how you do that. I didn't hit him with that. Oh, I hear someone. So you notice I hear a player, and I immediately pop this harmonic shield. I take out my flute. Hit him with that. Kind of hit him with the old one too. Damn, that guy took a lot to kill. But as you can see, I had my buffs on. He had a better flute for me. And that's just kind of how you win fights against naked people in the Goblin Caves. As a naked Bard. Oh, I forgot my Ballad of Courage. Basically, to cast spells quickly, you can get rid of... Oh, he had a green magic staff. That's nice. You can get rid of... Sorry, I'm just... Hang on. Hang on. Gotta go out of tutorial mode for a second and go into gaming mode. I'm gonna come over here and turn these off. And then take a seat right in front of this door. Anyway, yeah, to play spells really quickly, all you have to do is miss a note. You miss one note, and it'll say playing music anyway. And what that means is that it's mid. You just have the smaller duration. I think the buff is still the same. It just doesn't last as long. So it's really good to do on the Shriek of Weakness because you can take somebody's head off with the rapier because, yeah, you just put them with the Shriek of Weakness. It just doesn't last as long. That trick works with pretty much every spell that the Bard can cast. All you have to do is miss a note, and boom, you're good. But anyway, I'm going to kind of focus up now. I'm going to drink my little potion when I get up. Get me back up to full. And then I'm gonna try and do the penta buff combo. I'm gonna try and do the bard wombo combo just to demonstrate. I haven't really tried to do it before, but I've seen videos of people hitting the bard wombo combo. And this is kind of how it goes, I think. Yeah, so yeah, I'm already slow. But you just have to miss. Yeah, the harmonic shield you can't miss at all. Anyway, I hear another player, so I am actually going to engage. Okay, it was a bard that didn't watch this tutorial, so he got absolutely thumped. And he had a ring for me. Beautiful. No better upgrades. But he had a ring on him, so that's nice. Hit him with the teabag. Sorry, buddy. No mercy in the caves. Now I'm going to be looking around here and seeing my buffs are running out, so you want to make sure that you keep yourself nice and buffed up. I do like to hit the Accelerando, and I do hit all of them perfectly, or I at least tried to, because I really don't like to do the thing. I mean, unless I have to hit a spell fast. Shriek of Weakness is pretty much the only one that I do that for. But I also don't have Ballad of Courage on right now, so I'm probably going to take... Yeah, I did. I took a hit there. But I've got the... Oh my god, another Ring of Courage! Shit! Turned out to be a fruitful run. Couldn't be more staged. Because we've got the Skeleton Champ here. To deal with this, I would normally just crossbow the beetle to pull the beetle, but since I don't have a crossbow, we're going to have to get a little more creative. We've got these throwing knives. If I can snipe that beetle and pull the beetle and not the champ, then that would make this room a lot easier. Because we have 2 beetles and a champion to deal with. And I am going to try and clear out this room if I can. I just need to figure out how to do it. Okay. I also hear a player over there, so I don't want to get myself into a sticky situation. I could pull... So what I could do is I could pull the Skeleton Champ over here and stand up on top of something, but that also doesn't seem like a good idea. So if you're a new player in this situation, what I recommend doing is getting all your buffs up. That's always step 1. Get all your buffs all the way up. There's no need to skip notes either and try and go faster. Because you do want your buffs to last for the longest amount of time possible. And I always forget to do Area of Alacrity first. You always want to start with that. I always forget. And you also want to make sure you got Allegro up, because that does help your spells cast faster, as you can see. But yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead and fists out, run through here. These guys shouldn't hit me at all. I should have enough buffs to just kind of come through here. Hit this door. Keep going. And close the door behind me. Easy peasy. If I had the invisibility spell, it'd be even easier, though. So yeah, now we're out here in the caves. We're fully buffed up. Got my loot out ready to go. If you're worried about rogues, which I kinda am in this situation, I'm gonna come out here. Hit a Dim Darkness around here. No one's around here, so that's good. We're gonna open up this chest. It's a Mimic, okay. So I should have hit my... flute first, so that you can see. The Mimics actually, they get the debuff on them, even if you don't activate them first. Oh, I just did the crappy music. That's gonna last for like 1 second. I gotta like one assassinate everything. Holy. Alright. But even if you play the crappy music, it still does the exact same thing. That's a nice kettle hat. I'll take that, 4x4. Sell that on the Steam Marketplace. Also a nice Zweihander. We've got a couple of nice greens, and look, there's the portal. So we're free to leave now. But I don't really want to leave. I want to keep trying to loot up a little bit because I don't think that there's a lot of like people in here. I don't think there's any geared players. But the storm is moving in. So I'm gonna go ahead and just And you can hear it. If you're playing good, then your music will start glitching out a little bit. I did skip a note there. Oh, there's a ranger right there. If I get in trouble, I can always just book it away. But he's kind of camping me over there. Kind of not a fan of this, like, at all. Just gonna go ahead and hit a few spells. See if I can hit a play on him and juke him out. If that's a stacked ranger, which it looks like it might be. Keep buffing yourself up a little bit. Now I'm gonna kind of take over here. And come up on him, hit this dinner bar. So now he's hurt. Has no idea where it's coming from. He's had to hit his field ration. I'm gonna hit the other one again. I'm just gonna keep lurking down here. You know, if I die, I die. Huck my drum at his head. Got him. Easy peasy. What did he have for me? Some gloves. Lots and lots of upgrades for you, boy. Por favor. Muy gracias. Awesome. Portal right here. And that is how... Well, hold on. Where is it? Where's my... Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna go. I couldn't find my drum. But yeah, that's kind of how you dominate as a bard. It's really one of the best classes in the game. As you can see, I went in completely naked and it came out looking like this. I didn't even look at that guy's dark plate. I didn't really have the time to. But yeah, this is what we came out as, just from one Goblin Caves run. I swear to God, that was not scripted. That's just kind of what the bard does. So I'm gonna put these away. Hit the merchants real quick. Let's sell our crap. Yeah, not too bad. We got 87 gold from the collector. So far, we've got 103. I don't know why I picked up these torches, but here we go. We made 0 gold off of those, so big haul there. I need a drum. I don't have a thank you. I need one of these, thank you. Okay. All right, I'm gonna spend 12 gold on a drum real quick, just so that we're fully kitted. Sell my coins. I would go sell these real quick. These would probably sell for a pretty penny. This Swihander +1 strength, kettle hat 2 physical healing, and magic staff 2 magical power. These would probably sell for 100 gold each at least. So we'll round up. We'll say I made about 400 gold off that run. If I sold each of these for 100 gold, which I could. I'm level 1, so I unfortunately can't use the trading hall. But in another world, I would be able to sell these for some money. Well, yeah, thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoyed it, you learned something new, leave a comment. If I got something completely wrong, leave a comment and leave a dislike. Leave a like if you liked it, and I will see you in the next guide video. Peace out.